Hi, my name is Ade Vincent, and I am a lecturer in composition here at Box Hill Institute. And I'm also a composer. I write music for concerts. I recently wrote a series of pieces for the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. I write songs with my band, The Tiger and Me, and I write music in the studio for commercial use, including some music and audio for games. I'm going to take you through what we do here at Box Hill in the area of composition. What we'll look at today. So we'll talk about why study composition, career paths and opportunities. We'll look at why to do it at Box Hill Institute. We'll look at core skills and knowledge that you'll learn here, as well as skills and knowledge that will be available to you through electives. We'll have a look at the degree structure, some experiences and highlights that come as part of the degree. We'll look at the facilities, talk about the composition staff, some notable alumni, and then go through how to apply. Why study composition? A composition degree can lead to all sorts of interesting places. You can become a composer, an orchestrator or arranger, a sound designer, doing sound effects for video games or movies, a music producer, so a creative role that oversees the creation of an album for a band or an artist, or a soundtrack or similar. Or you could even become a performer, perhaps a member or a leader of a band who writes and arranges the songs. Or any combination of that list. It's not unusual for composers these days to fill more than one role. In my own career, I do all five on that list, but I also know composers who specialize and focus on just one. We're conscious of both of these types of careers. You could be doing any or all of these things for film and TV, for video games, for concert music, dedicated concert music, theatre or dance, or for songs, songs and bands. Remember, wherever there's original music, there's been a composer involved, and that's what we're here to do. Our degree here is designed with the contemporary composer in mind. So building and sustaining a career as a composer in 2021 and beyond requires a wide range of skills. It needs deep knowledge in specialist skills, as well as foundational knowledge at a minimum in other areas, and our degree is structured to reflect this. We balance theory with application. So we cover all the key theory, but we're also geared to be very practical and hands-on. You'll be collaborating with filmmakers on real films, working with performers and audio engineers to write and perform and record your own music. It's an exciting environment to be in. There's a lot going on. You also, crucially, will be learning about how the music industry functions, so as to actually build a sustainable career. Now, it's one thing to have a music degree, but it's another thing altogether to turn this into a career, and we place an emphasis on this. We also recognize that not all composers need or want exactly the same skill set. So we offer flexibility around how your degree is structured. You'll learn how to construct melodies, how to write for orchestra, how to write for film, the history of contemporary music, that sort of thing. But you'll also have access to business skills, to mixing audio, songwriting, online content creation, and more through electives. The staff here are practitioners as well as teachers. So we've all done what we're teaching to a high level, and we're still active. We get great guests in, some as part of our Artists in Residence program and some for one-off guest seminars. And the facilities, they're fantastic here. We partnered with Sing Sing Studios to build Sing Sing East, and these are our in-house studios. I'll show you them later in this presentation. Okay, core skills and knowledge that you'll get with this degree. So you'll get this regardless of the structure of your degree. These are core subjects for composition. We cover music theory, so we go over the basics, but by third year, we do get into some pretty advanced and sophisticated theory. We look at composing for media, composing for film, composing popular music, arranging and orchestration. So how to write or arrange for the orchestra, for choirs, for string quartet, for solo piano, and more. Look at writing for a jazz context and big bands. 20th century experimental techniques. We'll spend some time on that. And then we do a subject called the contemporary composer, which is a third year subject that focuses on bringing all of this together into a cohesive skill set. Now, down in the bottom in the blue there are core subjects that every Box Hill student will get. So composers, performers, audio engineers, everyone, you're all in together there. So you get music industry skills, music history, creativity, entrepreneurship, and planning for the future of music. Electives. So here's our list of electives that are available to you. Most composition students favour those at the top of that list, but you're not locked to those. So if game audio doesn't interest you, you can instead pursue songwriting or audio production, a music business. There's a lot of flexibility outside the core subjects. Now, how does that look like? What does that look like in context? Here's what the degree structure is. So down the left here in green are what we call common core subjects. All students do these. Performers, composers, audio engineers, you're all in together on those. The yellow subjects are composition major. So these are all the composition specialist subjects, including orchestration, composing for media, composition fundamentals. The core skills a modern composer needs. So that's your composition major. The dark and the light blue are minors. These are electives. Now, many composers are interested in film music and game music electives here, but as I said, you're not tied to these. You might instead construct a degree with a major in composition and a minor in songwriting and electives in performance. So that's where that flexibility comes in. And likewise, the top right, orange and purple are electives. So many composers will choose studio tech and music business there, but equally you could choose musicianship and content creation. There's a lot of options there. Now, this degree is currently in the accreditation stage and is likely to run in 2021, but if not, it will start in 2022 and is designed in such a way that the first year is very similar to what's there now. So if it ran in 2022, you'd just switch over to this after 1 year and not much would change. But it is likely that it'll be in place from next year. Highlights of the degree. So highlights of the degree include writing music for leading professional ensembles. This year, my second years of writing for a piece for professional chamber ensemble Syzygy. They're a leading group in Australia's contemporary classical world. And we're also working with the Victorian Youth Symphony Orchestra to have a student orchestral piece workshopped and performed by a full orchestra at one of their concerts. Composition students collaborate with film students from Deakin, Swinburne, and the VCA, writing scores for real student films and working on real games with students from AIE. These collaborations are crucial because they not only build musical skills, but they give experience in collaboration, writing to a brief, and networking, communication, and working with other creatives on large scale projects. And we also have guest seminars from world-class composers, performers, conductors, and more. I just had Nicholas Buck in to talk to the composers. He conducts a lot of the live orchestral film events where orchestras play scores live along with the film, such as Star Wars. So he was in to talk to the composers about writing for orchestra from a conductor's point of view and from a arranger's point of view, and how to translate, what it looks like translating these iconic film scores into a concert context and that sort of thing. It was a great session. Earlier in the semester, we had Sarah Kuro in, who is a first violinist with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. So she was talking to the composers about writing for strings. So we get exciting guests like this in to talk to our students regularly. Other collaboration opportunities happen in our collaboration weeks, which is one per semester. So students get to team up with students from other courses to compete for what's called the Box Hill Cup. This is a competition where teams have to write, record, mix and promote a piece of music, and they are mentored by guest industry experts. So it's more practice and experience with industry collaboration. That's a lot of fun. Okay, look at the studios. So this is Studio A. This is our flagship studio. This is where the students have their own original pieces recorded by Box Hill audio students. So we're doing a session in here with Syzygy Ensemble in November this year, where the composition students will have a piece each recorded by the ensemble. There are some of the specs there. Studio C is the post-production studio. So this is where you can work on your scores for the film and game collaborations. Studio B is another large studio that's available. There's a list of the specs there and the gear. And then we've got the smaller production suites. So these are a bit smaller than A and B, but you can still record in there. And they have Pro Tools, Logic, Ableton, Max for Live, and the complete UA audio plugin suites, and also some classic analog synths in there. Notable alumni. So some of our alumni in composition include Andrew Christie, who now works for Hans Zimmer's company Bleeding Fingers, and he's worked on The Simpsons and The Planets and more. Tamara Partridge is doing great work in all sorts of areas, including dance, installations, and film. Dave Weaver is the sound designer for video games at Grease Monkey Games. Aaron Edwards has worked at Channel 7 and is now actually back here on staff teaching game audio, which is great. So we've got plenty of ex-students out there enjoying successful careers writing and making music. The composition staff. So that's me on the left there. I've got a varied background, so I teach across a few areas, including the introductory fundamental subjects, orchestration, and that third year subject, how to be a contemporary composer, bring it all together. George Papanicolaou teaches music for the moving image, so film, and also sound design. Got Petra Salsjo, who teaches composing for media, and Warren Burt covers some of the more avant-garde areas in 20th century composition and improvisation. How to apply. Prepare a folio of works and detail your experience in composition, and then get in touch to organise an interview. So school leavers would apply through VTAC, and mature age students, even just 1 year out of school, contact us and apply directly. That's it. That's a brief overview of composition at Box Hill. If you have more questions, you can contact the music department directly there, email and phone number, or general Box Hill Institute inquiries. You can go to that bottom email or phone numbers there. You can find more information at the Box Hill Institute Skills and Job Centres, and I will be available for a live Q&A session as a follow-up to this presentation. And I hope to speak to you then. Thank you.